year ago in Birmingham, Rich Leitzinger and Elliott Forbes Robinson won their first race in the Daytona Prototypes. However, they would finish a disappointing 7th in points for the season. This year is a much different story. They return to Birmingham as title contenders after winning the last round at Daytona. The all-out war for the Daytona Prototype Championship continues as the Rolex Grand American Road Racing Series returns to Birmingham, Alabama.
Sports Car Series, the Porsche 250 from Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, it is hot and it is humid, and that is not necessarily good for some of the drivers. As you look at Daytona Prototype points, Wayne Taylor and Max Angelelli sit on top of Daytona Prototype points, but Wayne Taylor especially does not like the heat. Scott Pruitt and Luis Diaz only 7 points back. Only 45 points separate the top 5 in Daytona Prototypes. Over in GT, Craig Stanton sits atop the points there. Only 29 points separate the top 5 drivers there. Dorsey, we've talked a lot about the challenges of this racetrack. Take us for a lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was a motorcycle racetrack. That's what it was designed for. It's very narrow. You see 2.3 miles, 15 corners. Watch down here in turn 1. A lot of trouble there yesterday. His car skidded off and had contact there. 109 laps around here is a lot. It's hard on the brakes. You have to be very technical with the placement of the race car. And like I say, passing is very, very hard.
All right, the car is coming through turns 14. You should see the pace car. The lights are off. He should come to pit road. Don't forget that in Grand American Rolex Sports Car Series racing, the 2 classes will be split at the start. The Daytona Prototypes will start first and some 20 seconds back. Then the field of GT cars. So you see Alex Gurney bring the car onto the front straightaway in his 99, his first pole position of his Daytona Prototype career. And they're coming down for the green flag. Christian Fittipaldi sits outside, and the green flag.
Great jump right there on Christian. Maybe Christian just let that happen. You don't want to be side by side through these corners. You see there in the back, it's slowing all those guys up.
So just a little tire slow back there as the cars came through the apex. And look at Jonathan Cachet in the 7 car. Remember his first start side by side with Luis Diaz, as now we go back to catch the start of the GT field.
There are BMWs in the front row there. Those guys are teammates that should work well together.
And the green flag flies on GT. Look at the PTG BMW stream into turn 1. Justin Marks leads the way. It's BMW, and then side by side you saw the 36. That's one of the TPC Porsches of Spencer Pumpelly, also running side by side with the BMW, the number 22 car.
Very clean start, I must say. I will also say that Mark Rapoff, the series administrator for these guys, had a sit-down meeting with the drivers and said, I will not tolerate what happened yesterday and happened today. I will park you if you're the points leader. I do not care. You do not go hitting other cars and knock them off the racetrack. So we'll see what happens.
We're on board with Tom Milner Jr. in the number 21 BMW. The 22 of Ian James still side by side with Pumpelly, and that car had an upright failure in the morning warm-up, so they had to change an upright on the number 22 car when Ian James was behind the wheel. But back up front with Daytona Prototypes, Alex Gurney still holding point over Christian Fittipaldi, and then Max Angelelli runs third. The 77, that's the Doran machine with Matteo Bobbi behind the wheel right now in fourth, and then the 19 Finley Motorsports car of Memo Gidley in the car right now. He shares that machine with Michael McDowell, but Memo behind the wheel. That's your top 5. Alex Gurney, Christian Fittipaldi, Angelelli, Bobbi, and then Gidley.
Very civilized first lap, I must say. I'm quite impressed because I think these guys feeling the cars out, feeling the racetrack out to see what it's going to offer up for grip. It's been very slippery around here. That's a wise thing to do in a long race. You can't do anything but get in trouble right now.
Alex Gurney is the 35th different driver to lead a Rolex Sports Car Series race in the Daytona Prototype this season. That's a pretty amazing stat. 35 drivers now have led at the front of the DP class. We're looking at Christian Fittipaldi. It looks like he's pulled a little bit of a gap over Max Angelelli, but Dorsey, 109 laps around this racetrack. As tight as it is, Alex Gurney's going to take off. He wants to show what he can do. But the rest of these guys, are they just going to sit there and buy their time and take care of the car?
Well, I think that might be why you see Alex Gurney. He's got the least experience in race. Maybe he's running really hard. These guys are thinking that's too hard for the tires. Chris, can you help us out on that?
Well, actually, not really talking too much about Alex Gurney there. I can't help you out with that one, Dorsey. But the 10 car, these guys going a little bit different strategy this weekend. Obviously, dealing with the heat, dealing with the close confined racetrack, knowing that they're going to be using their drivers up. They're going to do a driver switch of Max Angelelli, then Wayne Taylor, and once again finishing up with Max Angelelli. So this is one of the only teams in Daytona Prototypes that is going to do 2 driver changes there, while everybody else just going with 1. And when you think about that, they're probably going to lose a little bit of time on pit lane because of that, because those driver changes do take a little while. But Max Angelelli will probably be one of the fresher drivers at the end of the race.
I saw fluid coming out of the back of the 66.6 Christian Fittipaldi. Now that could be fuel overflow since it's so early in the race. It might be just some spray coming out, but it bothered me a little bit on the left rear corner. I saw fluids.
Well, I think that's a great strategy that Chris was just talking about for the SunTrust team. And I think Alex Gurney mentioned in his interview earlier that he and Bob Stallings are going to do that as well, and that's very wise for that team. Obviously, Alex Gurney, professional race car driver. Bob Stallings doing a great job. He won the Formula Atlantic National Championship in the SCCA, but these Daytona Prototypes, a much more serious race car, so he's going to spend some time in it, and then Alex Gurney will finish out the race in that 99 Games Cup car. So
these cars physically demanding. Once again, the heat probably more than any other one running really wears you down. You usually start about an hour a stint. You want your freshest, your fastest guys at the beginning and end if you can make that happen.
Well, the military did a really good study a few years ago. They found that once you get above 100 degrees for each degree or 2 of temperature, the mistake factor that you make, they had guys just go through simple puzzles. The mistakes go up about 25% for each couple of degrees, but we'll come back to Barber Motorsports Park. We'll find out if the heat and the competition gets to young Alex Gurney when we come back right after this. Alex Gurney with another great run through turn 15 as they come back to the green flag. Wayne Taylor did not look at all excited about the thought of getting in that car as hot as it is. Angelelli giving chase to Gurney.
Wayne makes no doubt about it. He said, I don't like the heat. It's just too hot. I'm an old guy. Let the young guy go do it.
Well, they've got so many more cooling aids than they ever had when we drove, Dorsey. You heard him say we've got an air conditioner, a helmet cooler, and also the cool suit that they wear, the T-shirt with the little piping in it. How does that work?
Well, you know, there's a bunch of different piping runs some fluid through. It's like a little air conditioning vest that you wear. There's an air cooler that is actually off the space shuttle type of technology, and it brings in the air from outside, cools it, and pumps it into your helmet. All that being said, it's still 140 degrees inside that car. Your skin temperature is about 103 to 105, so it dehydrates you. There's no question. You got to drink a lot of fluid.
Well, Memo Gidley now bringing the fight to Max Angelelli, and Mike Borkowski not letting that get away either. Neither is Jonathan Cochet. You have to be really impressed with that young Frenchman. His first time in a Daytona Prototype, and he's hanging right there with the veterans.
We watched him all this weekend in practices and qualifying in the 7th hole. He's been right there in the top 5. He's doing a great job.
I think that's another great thing about the series. You heard Alex Gurney talk about it. That's what the series is designed to do. You can buy a car, put a good team together with the right preparation. You can come and run with the leaders, and that's exactly what Peter Barron has done with his Simex organization. Brian Tuttle bought that car. They prepare it well. They put guys in it. Kyle Petty ran second at Daytona in it just a few weeks ago, and now Jonathan Cochet doing a great job here at Barber.
And you can see, you get a guy like Chip Ganassi that comes in, you know he's going to assemble a first-class team, no question about it. His car is currently running 7th and 8th, so that just bolsters what he's saying.
I think the other thing, too, when we talk about the Samex car, we talk about Pontiac Power versus Chip Ganassi and that Lexus machine. Obviously, Chip Ganassi and his drivers know how to make cars go fast, but Lexus is probably not the engine best suited to to this racetrack.
Well, these Pontiac engines make a lot of torque, and that's what you need for all these little choppy corners. I mean, there's no high-speed stuff there. It's like 148 miles per hour is the fastest you go around Barber in the straightaway. Most of these corners, you got to really get on the brakes, and they call it point and split corners. You got to get the thing pointed into the corner and then get on the front and accelerate out. Torque is your best friend.
And with that 4.3-liter Lexus engine, it doesn't have the torque. It's got a 6-speed gearbox. They have to shift probably twice as many times as the guys with the larger 5-liter engines. So those Lexus power plants, without the torque and with that 6-speed gearbox, at a bit of a disadvantage down here. And another problem here, that's down at turn 5. We call that Charlotte's Web. That's the number 71. That's Mark Greenberg and Paul Mortimer in the 94 car. That's turn 5. They call it Charlotte's Web because there's a giant spider sculpture, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you knew exactly what I meant. Sitting outside of that corner, and it looks like these guys got caught up.
Oh, man, way too much speed.
That's not
just
gonna work.
drills the 94. Big damage. You're going to go out here into the gravel trap, kitty litter, and get stuck.
Yeah, Mark Greenberg's going to say, sorry about that, but Paul Mortimer got the worst of that crash. I think the left rear of that car with significant damage on it, and he's also mired in the gravel.
But you know what that means.
Yep, that means that car right there, the bright orange Pontiac GTO pace car, comes back out for the 3rd time here at Barber, and it won't be the last, something tells me.
It's our 3rd one already in only 20 laps.
That's probably one of the best passing zones there coming into turn 5, and it makes guys make those mistakes, take those chances, those risks that we talked about at the beginning of the show. And a lot of times, Dorsey, it seems like that gamble just does not pay off.
Well, that one was just in way too deep in the brake zone with too much speed. No way he was going to make that corner, and that's exactly what happens.
It'll be interesting to see if any of the Daytona prototype competitors come to pit lane on board with Milka Duno. She's on the radio, but it looks like she's talking more with her hands than she was with the radio.
Well, she got the television.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they're watching down there. But there she goes again. It's that Latin, you know, she's got to use her hands when she speaks. And there's a look at Max Angelelli. Talk about it being hot, and you can see why he's wearing a balaclava like you would if you were out in the cold weather, something that covers up his face, only his eyes, but then he's got that visor down on his helmet, so it's got to be very hot down there. We're wondering about leaders coming to pit road. Chris, what do you have on pit strategy?
Brian, lots of chatter down here right now. Do you come in? Do you stay out with all these cautions? Can this be a one-stop race? The Ganassi boys right now, their decision, at least with the 01 car, is watch the SunTrust boys. If that 10 car ducks into pit lane, we're going to see them here too. We're going to see them here in pit lane too. 4 tires, fuel, also Scott Pruitt getting behind the wheel.
I can see people taking risks for a one-stop strategy, but you know, you certainly wouldn't think that Alex Gurney in the 99 car would come to pit road now, but he does. Bob Stallings, it'll be interesting to see if he gets in. Stallings will get in, but if he gets out on the next full course yellow, that would leave Alex Gurney a long time behind the wheel to take that car to the checkered flag. Justin.
Yeah, well, Stallings, he's opened the driver's door and the guy's getting out, so I'd say that's a pretty good indication. It's a very routine pit stop for these guys. I guess the temperature did, as you say, it would have been a long time to have stayed in the car. They're actually doing the right front tire as we speak, fuel going in, team looking very composed. I mean, they were in a good position out on the track, but let's hope they get out of pits. Chris, how are you getting on?
Justin, Mike Borkowski brought the number 6 Mears Motor Coach machine to pit lane. He's going to stay in the car, so right now, just fuel and tires. Very quick stop for these boys. All the news from them is cars working real well. Mike Borkowski just trying to be very patient out there.
Borkowski gets held by the red flag at pit out as some of the other traffic comes by. Officials wave him on. It'll be interesting. Bob Stallings is certainly an accomplished race car driver, but he is not a professional race car driver. He doesn't do it for a living like Alex Gurney does, so I wouldn't expect to see quite the performance out of the Gamesco car when it gets back out on the racetrack. It'll be interesting to see how long Bob Stallings can stay in the car. Max Angelelli in the number 10 SunTrust car does lead. He did not come to pit road. We'll see what their pit strategy does when we come back to Barber Motorsports Park right after this. Right on board the number 58 Brumos Porsche with David Donahue, the Porsche Fab car.
Currently running in 11th place. got a car stopped off track there, on track actually. It's number 3.
Darius Gralla behind the wheel right now. That's the Southern Motorsports entry with Darius Gralla and Shane Lewis. Gralla behind the wheel right now, that BMW Riley. Car stopped on course. You wonder if it's some type of a drivetrain issue, Dorsey. It doesn't look like he's spun or hit anything. It's actually facing in the proper direction, just offline.
Could be an electrical deal again. We had some other stuff going on also while this car was laying down.
Justin, what do you have on the 3?
Well, I was just told by the engineer that it's a total electrical failure, so he can't even turn the steering wheel. And, you know, so the car is parked right now. It's not in a dangerous position, but the driver can't do anything about it.
And that's him just slowing down. You see evasive action right there by the white car as the car just shut off right mid-corner.
I think that was Todd Hansen in the Pontiac GTO that went around him. Good move by him, but as the car shuts down, you heard him say can't even turn the steering wheel. For folks at home, it's got electric power steering, and so if the electricity goes down, you lose the electrics in the car, you'll lose the power steering. On board with Tom Milner Jr., you see the 3 out to drivers left.
Tom Milner Jr. got into a little scuffle just a lap ago. Take a look at this as he catches up with Andrew Davis in the 73 Porsche. Andrew gets loose right here. Good save on his part now. Milner to the inside, roughs him up just a little bit as he takes the Davis car around. He will get a penalty of 1 minute of sitting in the pit.
I'm sure that that's going to be seen by a different point of view than the officials saw it by Tom Milner Jr. and Senior and the rest of that PTG BMW team. Doesn't matter. We've already seen that lobbying with officials does not always work. And we are back to full course caution. The 4th comes on lap 34. They'll gather the field back up, and the number 10 car, the leader, is in the pits. Max Angelelli coming down pit road. Be interesting to see, Dorsey. The driver's door does come open. Wayne Taylor will be taking over from Max Angelelli. Looks routine.
That door open almost took the crew guys down off the wall, too. That was a close one.
Angelelli ready to get out of that car in a hurry. It looks like a routine stop for your leader, and Justin is with the 54.
Yeah, Borchella's getting in the car. It's certainly a routine stop as we stand, but I have to say Jim Bell had steam coming out of his ears because it was his car involved with the 7th car, got hit twice. So they have been inspecting for a bit of the body damage. Car looks pretty clean, and Borchella's getting himself comfortable. Remember, he only flew in last night. Chris, what's happening? You're in.
Well, both the Nasty cars are in. Luis Diaz originally bringing the 0-1 in. That's in pit lane right now. 4 cars, the old Scott Pruitt hard behind the wheel and out of here. And now Court Wagner getting out of the 0-2, the new Century car, just doing fuel and tires, and Stefan Johansson getting behind the wheel there. Now, the interesting thing I saw about both of these cars when they came in is quite a bit of grass up in the grill. Neither of these cars have been off the road, but there's so much debris and grass out on the racetrack right now from other cars being off the road that we could see a little bit of cars having some heating problems just from all the debris in the racetrack.
Well, I talked to Stefan Johansson yesterday about his car, and he said, we're just having problems getting the power down. And once again, we talked about the power plant differences. We've got Fords, BMWs, we've got Pontiacs, and we have the Lexus power plant. Running that 4.3-liter Lexus, we talked about it, they have to run that 6-speed gearbox, and he said, you know, my right hand seems like it's never on the steering wheel. I'm having to shift so much. It's really hard to keep up with those very torquey, bigger liter V8s.
And I talked to Luis Diaz, of course, in the 0-1 car, brave corner worker getting a piece of something off track. Luis told me that in the morning sessions when the cloud cover was here, that the car was actually pretty good, not too bad. But when it got hotter as the day went on, that the car lost total grip. Well, guess what? The clouds have parted, the sun is out, and it's hot out there.
It is very hot. Memo Gidley now in the lead in his 19 Findlay Motorsports BMW powered Riley, but a lot of grass packed in the front grille of that car, and they talked about it. They saw the temperatures going up. It's surprising, Dorsey, that they didn't take the opportunity now when everybody that was running right behind them, why didn't they come in to get the grass out of it? We'll get that question answered as soon as we get finished with this pit stop. 21 cars in, Justin.
Yeah, I tell you what, as Bill Oberlin gets in, Tom Milner obviously had done a tremendous job, but the car looks as though it's been set to with a couple of jackhammers. There is virtually no front fender on this, or bumper, or whatever we call it in England, but the car is looking worse for wear. Wheels are pointing in the right direction. They are changing all 4 tires as Oberlin's getting himself into the car. Give you an idea of how hot he must be, he has 2 drinks bottles on his way through the door. Routine stop for the 21 car.
He
like we said, we knew that car was going to get a 1 minute penalty at some point for roughing up Andrew Davis in the 73. I don't know if that penalty's been assessed yet or not.
This team has just had bad luck all weekend long. They've got 4 cars. They've had problems in practice and qualifying. We talked about the 22 car with the upright problem this morning. The only car that had not had a problem at all was the 16 car with Justin Marks and Joey Hand, and that car still seems to be running just fine. Bill Augerland leads pit road in his PTG BMW. Here's a look at Tom Milner Jr. and Andrew Davis. Excuse me, coming through. Pardon me, guys. That'll get you a minute on pit lane. Stay with us. Back to green flag racing, Justin, as Elliott Robinson brings his boss snowplow Pontiac Crawford across the line and takes the restart. But I can guarantee you that Mike Borkowski and his machine right behind him is going to be putting pressure on him. Borkowski been very strong here and actually said, I think we've got a better race car than we had a qualifying car. And I heard that too from the guys at Findlay, Dorsey. They said, Rick Cameron said the other day, I think our car is actually better on long runs. Unfortunately, nobody's getting long runs here as you look at this side by side down into turn 5.
Yeah, but Mike Borkowski on the outside, trying to go around the outside, runs the risk if he doesn't make that pass. But Scott Pruitt could gang up there with EFR and both go by the side. But Borkowski sticks it out, gets the job done.
Awesome move by Mike Borkowski around the long way, got it done, and that gave him position for the next corner. And it looks like Elliott dropping back a little bit. Pruitt now putting the pressure on Elliott Forbes Robinson, but that's not going to get done in that corner, not from the outside.
I'm starting to wonder now, maybe if Elliott didn't try to get all the muck off his tire, didn't scrub them in quite enough, and end up with a car that was misbalanced, a little bit too much understeer, and then it'll come right after a lap or two, but he was there at the beginning.
Talk about the muck on your tires, you talk about the hot rubber that it gets picked up when you're on those behind the pace car?
You know, you can clean the rear tires easily just by spinning them up, but the front tires, you know, if you don't get out all that zigzag you got, you take off to the turn 1, you turn the wheel, the car won't turn, and you're sitting down.
Mike Borkowski with a great jump on that restart. Now the 67 car with a problem. Nick Janssen in that car now. That was your winning car from Watkins Glen earlier this year. But he has a problem.
And he's rolling the wrong direction on the racetrack. I don't know if he's spun. What's going on there?
No problems right now for Mike Borkowski, Chris.
That's right, Brian. These guys couldn't be happier down here. We saw them do that pit stop very early on in the race, just fuels and tires. Mike stayed behind the wheels, and Mike Shank is just saying, he's reporting that the car is perfect, and these guys really talking about being patient in this race, letting it come to them, and that's exactly what's going on right now. Right now, they are starting to focus on trying to figure out when they want to bring Mike in and put Kenny Wilden behind the wheel, and they're ranging right now probably between lap 52 and 54, somewhere right in there. It's going to get them a good pit window, and I would think that you probably want to do that on the earlier side, around 52, just so Kenny Wilden's going to have a chance to bring that car back up to the front.
Chris, that's only 3 laps from now, so you'll be getting busy with him, and it could happen before that if the undercut is broke down of Nick Janssen is not got going again.
Kenny Wilden has his helmet on. It looks like he's getting suited up, so it may not be too much longer before we see Mike Borkowski in his number 6 car on pit road. But right now, he's having it all his way. The number 4 car, Elliott Forbes Robinson, comes to pit road. That was your leader under full course caution yet again. Jeff.
Yeah, well, Elliott Forbes Robinson belies his age as he leaps from the car like a junior man. And of course, Butch Leisinger getting in the car. The team were yelling for joy when the full course yellow came out. It's exactly what they've been waiting for, completely in their fuel window. Butch is getting ready in the car, putting the wheel on. 4 tires, a full tank of fuel this team like. So let's watch out towards the end. It's going to be great. Chris?
Justin, Scott Pruitt also brought the 0-1 into pit lane. It was just tires and fuel. He stayed behind the wheel, so a very quick pit stop. He came in behind the Ford, and he left already, so he's got that position.
lot of races won and lost in pit lane, Dorsey, and it looked like they might have been having a little problem with the 4 car. He didn't get out as quick as I thought that he should.
And this surprises me that Mike Bukowski in the 6 has not yet gone in. They're looking at lap 53 is what Chris was telling us. Well, it's lap 52 right now behind the caution.
It's the reason we're under yellow. That's the number 61 Porsche. That's the same entry. Mike Fitzgerald behind the wheel right now as he sits there. The car didn't look like it was wrecked, but the 67 car, that was Nick Johnson. We saw him just before we went to break. Pull off to the side there, and that car obviously has lost drive, whether it's a transmission issue or a motor issue. It doesn't really matter. It's not going anywhere, Dorsey.
No, he pulled that off as best he could. I saw it rolling down the hill the wrong direction from which way the race car should be going, so that's obviously unable to fire. The 61 Mike Fitzgerald was off at the top of turn 1, and this man now, Butch Leitzinger, taking over.
Well, Elliott Forbes Robinson, just a tremendous job in that car, and it's like Justin said, he belies his age. He came jumping out of the car and over the wall. I don't know, he may have been too fast for you to catch up with, Justin. Did you catch him?
Well, not many of the young guys can catch him in race helmets, let alone a little old man like me. Elliott, what a great run.
It was good. The car was really good. We knew that we were back in the pack away, so we put it on a kind of economy mode for fuel to try and make it so we could go quite a distance here and try and make it on one stop. And unfortunately with that, when we're going under caution, we're picking up about twice the rubber we started with. And that last restart, I had nothing on the rear, and it was locking them up, sliding, and I couldn't do anything with the 6 car going by. But you know what? I think we still got a good chance of winning this guy.
Thank you very much. Chris.
Well, our leader, the 6 Motorsports car, Mike Borkowski in. He's getting out of the car. Kenny Wilden strapping in. These boys have already done their tire change. They've already got the fuel in the car, so they're just trying to get Kenny strapped in. They were hanging their heads a little bit low there because they were hoping to come in right when we went to caution, but Mike Borkowski just got a little bit too far past that pit entrance, so he couldn't commit while some of the other competitors did. So these guys are going to get shuffled back just a little bit here in this pit stop. But this car is so fast, I won't be surprised if we see Kenny Wilden up near the front.
Max Angelelli trying to do battle with Michael McDowell in the 19 Findlay Motorsports Daytona prototype just in front of the 2 GT cars as the rain begins to come down a little bit harder here at Barber Motorsports Park. Angelelli just a second behind McDowell right now, but Christian Fittipaldi, who leads, has been able to pull out about 5 seconds over Michael McDowell. A great battle between the 19 and the 10. Chris?
Yeah, guys, just checking in with a lot of these teams running up front, and the 19 and the 02 seem like they're the ones who are really kind of riding on the fence here, whether they're going to be good and out of the fuel. So obviously, as we're seeing the 10 car charge through, the 19 and the 02 running a little bit lean right now, and that's why we see that 10 car go through them so quick, because those guys, they're fine on fuel. So Angelelli's got that fuel winked all the way up, as much power to that Pontiac as he can handle. Now the 66 car also a little bit in question. They think they're good. They'd like to see another caution, but Christian Fittipaldi getting a pretty good lead right now. And these rain showers that we're having, it's kind of picking up again, but this one's much lighter than the earlier one. So I don't know if we're really going to see anybody in pit lane to try and pick up some tires, because once you kind of look around you, it looks like we get these sporadic little showers that come in, but nothing too substantial.
For the people at home, the drivers on the dashboard have a switch with 3 or 4 positions on it where they can take the mixture. When they get a call from the crew chief, they can richen up or lean out the mixture to the engine and get better fuel mileage, or there's even a rain mapping if it gets really slippery that will reduce the power in the engine and make the car more drivable. So these guys right now are all working with their engine management to try to get to the end of this one.
We look at the lead battle here in GT. Joey Hand really taking it to Craig Stanton. It looks like it's actually raining harder on one part of the track than it is on another, but right now the BMW looks very, very strong.
And that's what I was going to say, Brian. One of the worst things a driver can run into is a racetrack like this where one end of it all of a sudden gets completely soaking wet, but the part that you're racing on isn't that bad. You go flying into the next part of the racetrack and you get into a big gully washer and in trouble.
Well, and here's the problem too. It's kind of an unknown where there's grip right now. You may have some reasonable grip where the car runs happens on a regular basis. Look at Joey Hand look to the outside. But if a car hadn't been running there, that's where the water's going to collect. That's where it's going to get slick.
Thus we have all this oil issue from earlier on, but that oil will come to the top. Once the water gets above the crack levels of the asphalt, that oil will pop to the top, and it will get really slippery. I don't see, though, these cars starting to fishtail around too much yet.
Not yet, but you can tell the rain is definitely coming down, and you wonder, too, about how slick those curves are. Justin, what do you have on the 80?
Well, it's like exactly as Justin Marks said, the BMW handles very well in these conditions, and as the rain is coming down as I talk right now, the Porsche is pushing really nastily as you enter into the corner, and it's loose as he comes under power on the way out. So it's pretty 911 stereotypical, but not great. Over to Chris.
Guys, the rain is really starting to come down now. Earlier, it really wasn't doing much with the pavement because there's so much heat in the pavement, but as we start to get a little bit heavier rain here, you can see that pit lane is now wet. The pavement is no longer dry. Also, some condensation coming off the pavement, so and it doesn't look like it's going to let up, at least for the time being. So we might see some guys diving in the pit lane. At least the 02 guys have got to set their rain tires out. So I imagine we might see a little bit of action down here if this rain sticks around.
This is where the driver's got to be really brave. He's going to have to make the call himself, but you want to stay out there until there's actually puddling of water on the track. Now it can be slippery. It's going to be here very shortly. Doesn't mean it's time to come in and get rain tires. The rain tires only do good if there's standing water to get rid of. If it's like it is right now, you just got to muster it up and go with it.
Back up front, Christian Fittipaldi continues to lead a little over 5 seconds. He still has in hand over Max Angelelli, but this weather could change everything. Just a little over 21 minutes. Oh, and you see a car drop a wheel there at the exit of turn 1, right in front of the leader. You see the 10 car up to second place. He has taken over second place, and you saw the gap. Still about 5 seconds back. Let's see what happens here. Max Angelelli in the 10 car, Michael McDowell.
Michael just got held up by that Porsche, had to crack out of the throttle a little bit, and Max the Axe didn't, and he used that run and into a deep brake zone, goes right by, and now he's opened up quite a gap too, actually.
Just out-braked him on the outside, and sometimes that's where you really want to be in the rain. There's not a lot of grip on the normal racing line. Guys, right now, I'm sure Dorsey beginning to try different things, trying to find grip.
Absolutely. They can make some adjustments inside the race car. One thing you'd want to do right now is try to dial in some more rear brake. Get some of that front brake out of the car because you can't brake as hard now when it's slippery as you could before. Thusly, you can't transfer the weight on the front wheels that used to go there. You put some rear brake in, that makes that a little bit better. Also, they could be softening up your sway bars, inducing roll. I saw Scott Pruitt with the big twitch right there. Starting to get slippery.
That's the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Fabrizio Golan in the 77, then Scott Pruitt, then Kenny Wilden in the 6 car. The battle for 5th.
5th, 6th, and 7th place cars all going for the 5th position, and the car's starting to dance around a little bit now.
Now it's one of those things, just like we talked about. You want to stay on that lighter gray line. That means it's where it's dry, where the cars have been running. You get outside of that on the darker pavement, could be very slick. Look at Kenny Wilden all over the back. Trying to pick a run on Golan, but it looks like Wilden in that Pontiac-powered Riley really got a run on Pruitt coming on the first stretch.
Yeah, you should get it down to turn 1. This is another issue right now, that who's making downforce and who's not. The cars have got a lot of downforce are going to start really accelerating in this damp condition.
Scott Pruitt certainly didn't make it easy side by side through the corner, but Wilden does take the position, Chris.
Yeah, guys, that rain we just had, it's gone already. So while the track is still a little bit wet, I can't imagine anybody's going to dart to pit lane right now for rain tires, because with all this heat here, it's gotta dry up pretty quick, and I imagine we're going to get back to some really good fast laps. But also think, for those 2-3 laps there, these guys slowed down with a wet track. That really helped out the guys who were in a fuel situation.
Well, Chris, we just had our first spin out. 02, Stefan Johansson, spun a new century in Rubik's car, not in any danger, didn't hit anything, but lost positions. Mike Burkowski on the move. Actually, it's Kenny Wilden. Kenny Wilden in the 6 has really got the
Kenny Wilden now beginning to put pressure on Fabrizio Golan. You heard Mike Borkowski say, we have a great car in this Mears Motor Coach entry. It's doing everything we want it to do today. The only thing Fabrizio Golan would like to see that 6-car do is go away. But look at Wilden, look up the inside.
He's about to go away in front of him. I think he's got him. Yep, he's going to get a run here, but the next corner negates that pass.
He really backed off there. Did he just back off to try to get a run? It looks like he got it.
I think that's exactly what he did. He's trying to time out a run and catch this car with more speed on a corner entry.
Not going to work this time, but here comes slower GT traffic, and that's one of these things that the Daytona prototype drivers have had to deal with all day long. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it works against you. Well, we'll have to take another quick break as the action continues to heat up. It changes every lap here at Barber Motorsports Park. Stay with us for more Rolex Sports Car Series action. Max Angelelli has now caught Fabrizio Golan, makes easy work of him as he comes onto the front straightaway at Barber Motorsports Park, trying to chase down Christian Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi, with just over a second at the line that last time by, has been able to hold on to it, and I can't help but wonder about the fuel that's in the tank of the number 66 car. Angelelli doing everything he can, Chris.
Brian, down here with Wayne Taylor. Wayne, you guys are good on fuel, but still a big question mark on that 66 car. What are you guys telling Max right now, since you don't really know where they are?
Max, I think, just went by the 66 car. Yeah, I think we just, let's see. No, he didn't. Well, we're really telling him just to hang in and do what, just keep doing what he's doing, because we're okay on fuel. We have a feeling they might be low. At the same time, there's a championship at stake, so the 01 car is the one that we're really watching.
Well, these guys, obviously a little bit of a nail-biter over here also when he was just getting around Fabrizio Golan in that 77 car. Wayne Taylor was a little bit nervous about that one, because as you can remember, there's a little bit of bad blood there from Laguna Seca.
Fittipaldi boxed just for a minute with BMW. That's all it takes. And Max Siak was almost by.
But Max came right back, even with the gap that he lost. I wonder if the 66 isn't beginning to miss a little bit out of some of these corners, not getting the fuel picked up all the way. Right now, 5 minutes left in this race. Can Christian Fittipaldi hold on? Can Max Angelelli make work of the traffic and take advantage of it and catch up with Christian Fittipaldi? Catching him is one thing, getting past him is another thing.
And that's exactly what we just saw there. He already did have him caught up and almost passed, but you can see Christian's willing to fight for this win. It would be the first win for them. They're overdue. They've led them at most laps. He's led since lap 53. It's lap 91, so another dominant performance. But can he lead the last 4 minutes?
Well, and remember, Chris talked about it earlier, heartbreak last year when Fittipaldi was in third, trying to get to the lead, had that huge crash. Now he just has a little over 4 minutes to go to claim the checkered flag and the first win for himself and Jörg Bergmeister for the season in 2005, but Max Angelelli not letting him get away.
Max is demonic on braking. We've always seen it out of that car. That Riley Pontiac, that particular one, is so dominant in the brake zones. You'll see him really go in there. Now, he suffers a little bit by going in so deep under braking. It allows Christian to get a little bit off. And that's the key battle nose to tail.
Great battles all around the racetrack. Craig Stanton continues to lead Joey Hand, but Joey Hand right now, right on the rear bumper, on the rear wing of Stanton's Porsche.
I think Stanton's Porsche is better in the dry condition. The BMW was better balanced when it was a little wet. You got a little slide there off the back of the Porsche. Stanton giving it all he can.
Look at Joey Hand looking up the inside. They're almost side by side. They're going to come into the braking zone for 5. 66 into the pit road. Christian Fittipaldi looks like he's going to have to come for fuel.
It must have stumbled. It wouldn't have come in any other way. It had to have stumbled. He is going to drop way back.
2 more laps. If they had been able to go 2 more laps here at Barber Motorsports Park, that 66 car would have claimed its first victory, but it will not. And for Craig Stanton, it looks like his first victory of the season may be out of reach as well. The 66 car back on pit road. Chris?
Well, Christian Fittipaldi's already gone, guys. He came in so quick. It was a time stop and picked up some fuel. He's already gone, so heartbreak for these guys. Tough start, and it looks like a tough finish, and it looks like we got some more problems on the racetrack.
The Ford spun out. That would be Butch Leitzinger in the car. He's sitting going the wrong direction on the straightaway.
Just out of turn 15 down there.
He needs to get out of there. Angelelli in the lead.
Unbelievable. What would that mean if the full course caution? No, Leitzinger got it back underway, but I was going to say if the full course caution had come out.
That's what I'd like to see. Personal experience.
Christian Fittipaldi would have been beside himself. They needed a full course caution a few laps ago. They did not get it. Just a little over 2 minutes left in the race, right at 3 minutes when Fittipaldi came to pit road. And now Max Angelelli leads.
He, in in some pretty significant traffic right now. Looking in terms of the fastest of lap times, but I have to assume he has one whale of a lead because that pit stop would have been pretty lengthy by the time he slowed up, got the time measurement of the fuel, and back into the race again.
Max Angelelli and Wayne Taylor have not won a Rolex Sports Car Series event since Homestead, the second race of the season. They've tried very hard since then, obviously, finished second the last time out at Daytona, but they have not been able to find the top step of the podium. Just a minute and a half left to go here, and they will claim their third victory of the season.
Got a minute 20.
Let's take a look at your move of the race. This is the pass for the lead in GT. Joey Hand up alongside Craig Stanton as they go into turn 5. It just motors by him as they get to the braking zone, and it almost looked easy.
And you would think if that stays the same, then that would be good. But he got that 2 laps to go, and anything might and can happen.
2 laps to go for Max Angelelli. He has a 15.5-second lead over Michael McDowell in the number 19 Finley Motorsports entry, who's back in second place. Mike Borkowski and Kenny Wilden still run in third. A good job for the Michael Shank Paul Mears organization today in the Mears Motor Coach entry. Max Angelelli sees the white flag. 2.3 miles to go for their third victory of the season.
Christian Fittipaldi now all the way slotted back into 4th. I don't think you can do much about that with 1 lap remaining.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see where he is in relation to the 6th Mears Motor Coach entry, but I don't think that Christian Fittipaldi will be drinking any champagne today. And what a shame. Once again, the 66 car leading a large percentage of the laps here at Barber. They will go away probably still leading the most laps for the season. It'll be close with the 10 car, but the disappointment for those guys must be intense. Angelelli just a half a lap to go as you see the SunTrust team. Wayne Taylor looking on nervously. As they always say, Dorsey, it's not over till it's over.
And they're second place, and they're banging for second lane. There was Wilden to the outside, almost went around. Good save.
Some contact there. Michael McDowell needs to be careful. He had a big incident in the Grand Am Cup race yesterday that you can see on Speed August 6th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And now contact, and you got to know, Mark Grafhoff is not going to put up with any of that, even on the last lap. As you look at Max Angelelli, final lap, and the checkered flag flies for Max Angelelli, the third win of the season for Wayne Taylor, Max Angelelli, and the entire SunTrust organization.
Oh, no. Christian Fittipaldi off the race surface.
Do you think that maybe they didn't give him enough fuel on that time stop?
Well, I don't know.
There's your GT winner. Joey Hand will bring his PTG BMW across the line just in front of Craig Stanton. And another win for Joey Hand, Justin Marks, and the PTG BMW boys.
Well, we also hear the 01 Scott Pruitt unable to go on. Maybe he's out. No, he's in it. He's okay. He's got a crew guy.
Oh, he stopped and picked up Christian Fittipaldi.
He picked up Christian to bring him. That's a very sporting thing.
Scott Pruitt, one of the most highly paid taxi drivers that you will find.
Well, it was one of the most wild battles here in Rolex racing. Obviously, great win for Max Angelelli, one of the most aggressive drivers in the series in a race that was filled with contact. But Max, the SunTrust car's clean. How tough was this race?
Really, really tough. I was keep pushing since I went back in the car. Never, like, you know, you do 2 hours qualify, same style. I tried to put pressure on everybody. Some guys made, a couple of mistakes, and luckily Fittipaldi ran off of fuel. Good.
Wayne, the 01 car, the 4 car had a few problems today. You guys come out with the win. This is great for the championship.
It is. We came here, the number 1 plan was to obviously be ahead of the 01 car, and then to get a win, I mean, it's really tremendous. I think the 01 car finished 4th, so it'll increase our points lead. And, I've said this many times, but I'm going to say it again. This guy's the best.
Oh, go.
Well, this championship battle couldn't be looking better for the number 10 car.
Well, I'm here with the winner of the GT category, Joey Hand. Joey, what an incredible race. You actually got the pass of the race at the end of the, with 2 laps to go. How was it for you?
Man, all I can say is giddy up. That was a hard drive. When you get behind cars, you can go real fast by yourself. When you get behind cars, it's much tougher. This PTG crew, especially James, Steve, and Andrew, they really put together a great race car. Justin Marks, again, stellar drive. I wouldn't want to drive with anybody else. We're best buds, and we proved that we can do it again. It wasn't a fluke at Daytona. PTG's got 50 wins, almost 50-50 on the win to run chart. So thanks again. Hi, Mom.
The number 58 Brumos entry from 12th to 7th, and number 181 Team Seattle. Thanks for watching another great Rolex Sports Car Series event. Make sure you join us next time. For Dorsey Schrader, Justin Bell, and Chris Neville, I'm Brian Till. Join us next time.